Welcome to the Keeping It Broad podcast, the show that explores the fascinating world of home improvement and renovation. Join hosts James Carlozzi, Tim Pesh, and Mark DeLucia as they share their expertise and insights on the latest trends, products, and their involvement in the industry and community. Let's get into this week's episode.
This is Tim Pesh, that's James Carlozzi, and this is the Keeping It Broad podcast. And today we're going to talk about finance. And I heard a long time ago that that's how people with extreme wealth say finance. You have to say finance and monies. Well, anyway,
wow,
we're talking about money today.
Wow.
That's why we got our black shirts on today. We're in the black. Money is a touchy subject.
It is with a lot of people.
It is with a lot. It is with a lot of people. And I thought today we talk about maybe setting a budget and where to begin that process. And after you come up with that number, well, James, how do you pay for it? Mm-hmm. So let's say you're coming in through the door and you don't have any idea of where to begin. How do you go about setting those numbers? I guess, James, what comes first?
I think first you have to establish what you feel comfortable spending on whatever renovation you do. I mean, whether it's $3,000, $30,000, whatever it is, whatever is going to make you comfortable doing whatever type of update you're trying to do within your home. Obviously, within reason, if you want to do a full kitchen renovation, those can be on the higher end side of those numbers, and you just want to be comfortable whatever number you're going to put in there. One of the things we do have to offer our customers as well is that we do financing with Wells Fargo, where we can give terms based on the size of the project for it. It's on our website.
When it comes to financing, you mentioned setting that number and setting your budget. Well, let's say I pick out a great design, and let's say we walk through and we pick out all the pieces, we pick out all the materials, and that number comes in a little bit higher than I wanted to spend. Are there ways to manage the budget still within the same design? Let's say maybe we switch cabinet manufacturers, we switch out
I think that it's important, Tim, that it all goes to where that number is when we started what makes you comfortable with your number.
Right.
If you want to spend $40,000 and that's the max you want to spend on your cabinets, I mean, regardless of whether you come to South Broad or whoever you're going to go to, make sure they're aware of where that number is, because I don't want to go through and do a work with you on things, and things come in at $80,000 and then you're like, oh, well, I don't want to spend that. And then we have to scale things back and, and take a look. We have so many different product offerings, Tim, that we can offer you. I can generally make things work within what budget you have, and it's going to be of the quality that you need and that you want for your home.
Yeah, budget friendly. Budget friendly design. You can achieve a certain look within a certain budget, and the ability and the freedom, financial freedom, to actually say, you know what, I think we can actually do this. We can actually pull this off. And then you mentioned the financing again, just in case maybe you missed it in the beginning. Can you explain our financing that we offer here?
So it's through Wells Fargo,
right?
And you can see it on our website, www.southbroadpaintcenter.com. Usually on the top heading, I believe it is. And I think there's it's through credit. It's approved within 2 or 3 minutes of filling out the information. I think they do up to $50,000. I want to say it is the most you can do, and kind of the financing kicks in. When we decide that we're going to move forward with it, we write a contract. There's certain numbers and things that are in the contract.
Right. And
with Wells Fargo, they actually are protecting the consumers that we do not get any of the financing. We don't get any of the money. It's not like we get it up front from them once you sign on. We have to complete that project and then submit the information to them, and then we get paid on the project. So it kind of helps protect the consumer a little bit, that we're just not going to get the money and then you're never going to show up or anything like that. You don't have to worry about any of that.
And in terms of process, I'm sure there's a certain deposit that comes in in the beginning. I don't know.
If you don't do financing, then the contracts are written depending on how much materials, labor, all that stuff goes into it, whether there's permits that we need to pull, things like that. I mean, each contract is very different than the next. It's, we have generally, 5 or 6 page contract that has a bunch of information in it.
Nomenclatures.
Yeah, there's a lot of information in there,
Right.
and we try to sit down with people, review it if you have any questions, concerns, things like that.
Yeah.
For it. But each one is generally, a little bit different from the next.
Yeah. Yeah. Finance, however you want to say it. It's something that everyone's
Money.
money. It's on everyone's mind, and it has been, and it ought to be. But there's a way to still do it. So we're happy to help come in and talk about these options. We know, we call it keeping it broad, so we don't get into a lot of the minutia and a lot of the details here. But if you want a starting point, come in and talk to the guys here. In terms of helping to set your budget and where to allocate a lot of those funds and a lot of the money and where to save and where to splurge a little bit. South Broad Paint Home Center in Wallingford is us. That's who we are. 203-774-4700 is the way to contact us. That is James Carlozzi. I am Tim Page. Thanks for hanging out with us today.
Hey now.